We're going to look at an Electra Pocket 8 radio in this video. This is a very, very small AM radio that actually operated using 2 mercury batteries, which you cannot get anymore because they've banned the sale of mercury batteries. But I think I can probably make this thing work with a couple of button cell, alkaline button cells, and shoehorn them in and see what happens. But let's check this little tiny radio out. This is a micro 8 transistor AM radio by Electra. This thing's small. It's got its keychain. Back in the day when AM radios were popular, people would carry them as a keychain. They'd always have their radio with them. We're going to see what this one needs to make it work. I probably don't even have batteries that'll fit in this thing. What does it use for batteries? Holy smoke. It uses these tiny little batteries, which I'm sure are totally obsolete. It uses 2 1.3 volt mercury batteries. So you're never going to get batteries for something like this now because, well, mercury batteries have been phased out for a long time. And it looks like it puts them in series, so we can power this thing up with a power supply. 2.6 volts is what it's going to need. Because as you can see, the negative terminal of this battery is connected to the positive terminal of this battery. And mercury batteries were the opposite of regular cells. You notice that the negative terminal is the one that would have had the cap to it. Like on a conventional battery, that's your positive terminal. But mercury batteries, it was your negative terminal. We have no way, though, of course, to put batteries in this because, well, they don't make mercury batteries anymore. You could probably put a couple of the silver oxide type that are 1.5 volts, so that would give you 3 volts. Put a couple silver oxide cells stacked, and then just short them together, because you could put 2 of them in here, right? Two of the regular not silver oxide, but alkaline batteries now could be fit in here, and then you'd have to put a bridge in on the other, otherwise you'd have way too much voltage. But we'll power this up with the voltage that it was rated for and see what works. So I need to set my power supply down to 2.6 volts, which we will do. Dial it right down, there we go, 2.6 volts. This is going to be the positive terminal, and this one over here is the negative. So let's just clip on and see if this thing even produces any sound. Highly unlikely, but you never know. I might even have some of those said alkaline cells that I can try sticking in here and see if it will work. So we've got 2.6 volts connected, and I don't know which is the volume, and this is the tuning knob obviously, so let's turn on the volume. Holy smoke! Should pick up something. We should pick up something here on this. I know there's not much left on AM. It even had the Conrad emergency stations right there with the little triangle. So in the event of a nuclear war, because this was out in the Cold War days, in the event of a nuclear war and radio stations were knocked down, the U.S. government has set up special emergency stations, and all AM radios of the day had this little triangle marking. It would show you where the emergency transmitters would be located if you ever needed to tune into them. I should be able to get 730 in here somewhere. wiring is. Not very good. Let's take this off. It is picking up the signal. My switching power supply here is probably not helping. At full volume, this thing draws 0.08 amps. I'm going to try a couple of these alkaline cells, and we'll just stick a couple of these in here and see whether I can probably make these fit by just bending down these tabs a bit, but we'll try putting two of them in here. If I can get two of them to go down into the same slot. So I can probably bend these tabs out so that one could fit on one side and one on the other, but I'm going to try just stacking the two of them together, and we'll see whether I can just make it work. Put these ones down here, put them in series with each other like that, and then we'll just put a little jumper across this other side. That should give me the power, because if I measure with my meter, we should have about 3 volts. And my negative there, you'll see 3 volts. So if I connect a jumper from there to there, I should be operating on battery, and we'll see how that changes all the noise, because it was running on a switch mode power supply, and well, we know how lovely they are as far as producing noise. So this should maybe quieten this thing down a bit, and we can pick something up. So just a jumper there to here.
Really mean a lot. You either find
Look,
it funny or you won't.
look,
I think it could
it works.
be special, or at the very least, Brett, par for the course. You stole my life from me. Why would I want to steal the life?
This thing works. Cool. Now this belongs to a customer. He shipped it in with his beta machine. I'm going to throw this thing together. It works. And I'm just going to put a little jumper wire across here so that you can have this thing back with a couple batteries in it and actually be able to use it. I don't need to do anything on this. It works, which is quite surprising. I was expecting that at least there was going to be capacitors or something that were bad, but it appears to work just fine. So I'm going to send it back with the with a couple of alkaline cells in there. And now anybody who's got one of these little radios that you can't find the mercury batteries for it, well, it's really easy to just switch them over to alkaline. You just need to put the two of them together like that, get your polarity correct, and bridge across the other side. So I'm just going to put a little jumper wire over here. They can be easily removed if needed, but we're going to put just across there just so that it can operate off 2 batteries without having any wire sticking out of it. So I'm just going to solder a wire across here, and this will connect the empty space across so that the battery the 2 batteries, which are now like half the size of the original. I don't know how long these batteries will last. They're alkaline, but how long they'll play. I don't think they'll play as long as the original mercury cells did, that's for sure, but mercury cells lasted a long time, right? But you can't buy them anymore because They phased all those batteries out. Even silver oxide batteries are getting hard to find these days, if not impossible. So that little jumper will allow me to operate this radio.
She's a single mom who just moved. And lucky for us because she gets to ask all sorts of questions and has to have all sorts of Yosemite stuff explained to her, and that's how they get the exposition out. Even luckier though is she's actually an interesting character, and the actress Lily Santiago.
Put the screw back in.
Aside from work, our hero also has an ex-wife who is not getting terribly creative about its story or characters. The way it is setting up dominoes, and I tore through all 6 episodes. It was not it. But I wanted to know that. And the day in between those sittings, I found myself thinking
That is a neat little radio. I think something like this would be a welcome addition into any radio collector's collection. I mean, something like that. That would be a welcome collection into my radio collection. And it's going to work just fine with 2 alkaline batteries. This is what I put in it. I put this in. These are dollar store specials. I think they're like $1.25 for 5 at the dollar store. So you could run this thing pretty economical. Just standard LR44 or 357. No mercury. They're alkaline. And yeah, they... I can get the Indian channel. Sports station. CKNW. News 1130 is here somewhere.
Trying to extract softwood lumber or the supply managed dairy sector. Or maybe this is indeed a sign that talks have...
I like it.
So far, the Canadian side has not responded to these latest remarks. Prime Minister Mark Carney insisted this week that he won't accept a deal that is not in Canada's interest. That could mean that Canada will not sign on and is for renegotiation of next year. McGregor, City News. After years of government promises, it was announced finally last year that a
Distortion King, but hey, I mean, you're talking a speaker that's tiny little speaker there.
Where are the kids going to? Where are they going to play soccer?
Anyway,
You can't play soccer.
I figured I would just show that because that is neat, and I'm going to leave those batteries in there because I'm going to send it back working. So we didn't have to do anything on this one. This was more of a show it off and see if it works. It does. So didn't have to do anything to repair this one, but it's a very neat little radio. And I'm glad I had the opportunity to actually get into one of these ones because I've never seen one of these before. As I say, this would be a very welcome addition to my collection of radios, but it's not, so I have to enjoy it while it's here. But that is a neat little vintage radio. I don't know what year this would be, but this has got to be back in the the early to mid 60s. I think it's transistor, right? So it's going to be 60s, but made in Japan. It's a model TA8001. I'll look this up and see if I can find any info on it. Oh, I found some stuff on Pinterest, but it says that Facebook login is going away. Oh well, I guess I won't be able to use Pinterest anymore. That's the post on it, but nothing as far as the year goes. Let's see if I can find another one here. Here's someone's asking 101 pounds on Etsy for this, so they're worth a few dollars because this is pretty rare. Oh, somebody sold it. They sold it for 101 pounds. Huh. And it just says it says the supermodel. It's a collectible item. Duh. Yeah, this is definitely a collectible radio. But it does not give me a year. and that's what I was hoping to find. Maybe somebody knows when this thing came out. I certainly can't find anything on Google, but hey, it's certainly, regardless, this is a collector's piece.
105, and there will be post-game fireworks. CFL, the 3 and 4 BC Lions off until tomorrow, and they'll face the Tiger.
Very neat. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the look at this little vintage radio, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.